Alright guys, here's what it looks like. Sorry, Mike from Boyer Bows here. And the bow is cured. And how do you know it's cured? Well, tight bond 3, I think you can see that. It becomes kind of, it's brown, but it's also transparent. And you can see the marker lines that I had underneath the bow, underneath that. But anyway, that's what it looks like when you're done. And you see there's a lot of cleanup that's going to have to be done too, but this stuff sands pretty much right off. Or in our case, we'll rasp right off. So what I do, it's very similar, at this point, what I do, it's very similar to the snakeskin thing. Except instead of just hitting it with the sandpaper, I like to do as little sanding as possible on this stuff because that stuff, the powder it turns into is just so abrasive. So what I do, I've got a linoleum knife here. It's just the blade. Be real careful, these things are brutally sharp. And I kind of hook it into the little, one of the holes. This is why it's nice as opposed to just a regular razor blade. And I just use the bow as a guide. And I get my hand out of the way. But then, again, just stick the point into one of the holes and just pull. Really gently pull. Now, there's a big difference in feel between cutting glue and cutting wood. You really don't want to cut any wood here. Two reasons for that. Obviously, you don't want to take away any wood from the bow, but also if you cut through the wood will suddenly give on you. You have a tendency to, the knife jumps, and obviously your hand, the other hand's there, right like that. Alright, one more demonstration here. I'm going to take the tip right in one of the holes, because that kind of holds it down too, and just, so you got to be careful of those jumps. It doesn't matter other than safety wise if it jumps, because you're going to end up rasping this down smooth. But let me give you an example what this looks like now. And so there you go. Now what I'm going to do is take, I grabbed the wrong rasp. Well, alright, just to give you an idea, I grabbed the wrong rasp. This was supposed to be my 4-way rasp. I grabbed the wrong one. But this is the fine side. Remember, the 4-way rasp has a rounded, heavy side, a fine, rounded side. You flip it over and it's got the same thing except it's flat. Take the fine teeth on the flat side, pin your bow down, and what you want to do is, just like I did in the snakeskin video, that's the direction you want to go. Okay, you want to start at the use the bow as a guide and go down like this. You don't want to go so much like this until you're in the process of where you're just removing glue. Okay, but for now you just want to do this in this direction, because this will keep, if you just do it like this, the fiberglass could come up. You could dig it in the wrong direction, and you'll end up possibly sanding wood, sanding glue, but not sanding fiberglass, and you'll get this like serrated edge. So what you want to do, I'm at a bit of an angle here, see, like that, and just come straight down to do your sanding. See how the glue sort of cakes up and comes off? Just straight down. I know it's going to, usually I use a big, couple inch thick piece of sandpaper to do this, and it takes a lot less time, but we're limiting our number of tools, so you just do it like this, just straight down, and just smooth it out, and that's it. That's this step, and then the bow is backed. Get it real smooth, okay? If you can feel any points at all, and wear gloves, for God's sake, and this is the time to wear gloves. Before I really get into the sanding, I'm also going to go put a long sleeve shirt on. I'm going to get a mask, and I'm going to get a pair of goggles. I'm not going to spend a lot of time sanding this until I have that equipment, because I just don't like fiberglass. If you're a little more nonchalant about it, that's on you. But for me, I like safety. Alright, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take all this extra fiberglass off. I'm going to sand it down, and then I'm going to finish the tillering, which is, as I showed you last time, one of the limbs this limb had a little bit too much wood right here, so I'm gonna take it down like, whoops, don't do too much because this isn't one of my tools, but basically I'm gonna use the rasp, take the wood off there, and then constantly look in the mirror and check my tiller to make sure I don't go too far with that. And then as soon as these two things are bending, I don't think I'm going to take the bending symmetrically. As soon as the two limbs are bending symmetrically, I don't think I'm going to take the wood down anymore at all. I'm just going to try to stretch the wood until it's full draw length. And then I'll come back and you can see what's happening. Alright? Take care, guys. Any questions, leave a comment. Mike from Boyer Bows. Bye.